Arthur's posted this on Twitter. They're looking for a scenario designer. Now, I actually wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into this. Like, I wouldn't extrapolate this to mean that the sky is falling, personally. That's not the take that I would have from that. Like, from that. I wouldn't jump to conclusions too fast on it, because just because they're hiring a scenario designer doesn't necessarily mean that they're having a reaction based on Dawntrail. It's pretty normal in game dev for them to need to hire scenario designers, especially since they're like, there's a lot of story stuff and story content that they have to make for the game. They have hired for this role before in the past, and stories for the patches, future expansion stories are pretty much always in development. Sometimes people have to leave. Like, maybe they need to replace someone who left. Maybe they need to hire more people for an upcoming project that we don't even know about. So I feel like if they were hiring for a lead writer or narrative director, that might be something to raise an eyebrow at. But a scenario designer is like, this is like a mid-level writing role. This is somebody that's going to work on maybe some dialogue, maybe some little side quests, quest flow maybe. Like, I wouldn't say, this isn't someone that they're hiring to shape the narrative direction going forward. So that said, I do get why people are like, oh, look. Look what they're doing. They're hiring a scenario designer. Guess they should. Because I know, okay, like I'm obviously I know real well that the Dawntrail writing has been not it, and we want to believe that they'd make some big changes in response to that, but I don't think that they will, because actually I don't think that they realize that there is a problem. I don't think they understand what the problem is, based on what Yoshi P has said. So, not only, like, I think that's probably they're gonna keep on doing what they were doing, and they think that the players who had problems with it are wrong. That's my impression. But even if they were reacting to Dawntrail's situation, I doubt that they would. I feel like this kinds of things take longer for them to adjust. Like, the development cycle is pretty long. I don't know how long it takes them to plan job changes and stuff, like what their corporate hiring process is like. But the point is, scenario designer is not a person that's gonna have like huge creative control over the story. It's like smaller stuff, but they're still going to work within a framework that was set by the lead writers, the main directors. So yeah, I think this wouldn't fix the problems that we've seen in Dawntrail, even if that's the reason that they were hiring a scenario designer, because the issues come from high-level choices, like high-level decision-making. That said, I would say that if a bunch of different listings started popping up, like for senior writing positions, then maybe you could make a case that some kind of restructuring is going on. But one listing for a scenario designer, come on. It's normal. So I honestly wouldn't take any conclusion from this at all. This is people wanting to believe something that just we don't have evidence for. That's my opinion. That's my take on that. Isn't that the worst case scenario? What do you mean? It's not a lead position, but it probably means that there has been, or will soon be, a shuffle around. It could mean that there could soon be a shuffle, but it could also mean somebody's leaving and they need to replace them. It's just that this one listing isn't going to tell us anything at all. Run-of-the-mill stuff, yeah, that's kind of what I think. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if FF14 dev lingos. Scenario designer systems like the single player stuff during MSQ, or is it a writing role? I think it's like side quests and like maybe checking some things, making small changes to things, but it's not like a big time Ishikawa type role. Hire 0 out of 3 writers. Well, yeah, I would take this with a big grain of salt, personally. I think this is Square Enix's way of saying, if you think you can do better, come and try. I don't think that's what they're saying.